This was the 14th time that John Wayne and Ward Bond worked together in a film. And join me to talk about Wayne's career and this film, Operation Pacific, is Scott Eyman. Now, did he ever work with anybody more than that? Can you think?
No. Well, it's possible that he worked with Harry Carey Jr., but I don't think he made, 16 or 20 pictures with Dobie Carey. No, Ward Bond and he had met at USC. They were both on the football team. Bond lettered. He wasn't first string, but he lettered. Wayne had to leave the team because he messed up his shoulder and lost his scholarship, so he never lettered. But they met there, and they always had this interesting adversarial, loving relationship where Bond was kind of the idiot younger brother that Wayne was always kind of having to, get out of trouble. Because Bond thought he was God's gift to women, and Bond thought he could hold his liquor, and Bond was none of the things Bond thought he was. So, he was like the class clown for the John Ford, John Wayne stock company.
What's the biggest misconception we have about John Wayne?
That he was his character, that he was his screen character. He was partially that, but he was a lot more than that. There were colors he had as a human being that he didn't often show on screen and didn't show on screen at all, because he told an employee of his who was his story editor at Bat Jack. He said, I don't have to make a Western. He said, whatever I play, don't make me petty. I cannot be petty. He said, I have to play a character of size, and I have to play a character with a code, And he didn't have to be right. He didn't have to be a nice guy. In that sense, Wayne was a very fearless actor, because he would play really nasty human beings and not wink at the audience. He'd play them for all they were worth. But he could be wrong. He could be an SOB. But he wouldn't necessarily doubt himself, So he was committed. He played a committed character. And as a person, he was gentler than that. He was that way about certain aspects of his life. If you lied to him, it was over. That was it. You wouldn't get back in his good graces. But failing that, you could do almost anything else and he'd still be your friend.
Interesting man.
He placed the highest value on loyalty. And it went both ways.
I guess we sensed that about him.
I think so. Yeah. It does come across.
Yeah. Well, let's move on. Coming up next, John Wayne stays in his naval uniform. This time he's teamed with another really first-rate leading lady, Susan Hayward.
Tonight on Turner Classic Movies, Star of the Month John Wayne gives it his all as one of the fighting Seabees. Then Wayne is the Duke of Death in Edward Dmytryk's Back to Bataan. And John prepares to capture the enemy in The Green Berets.
New to the